Hello, mate. How are you?
mate.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good, are you right?
Yeah, good.
Marley Bone, how are you, son?
Arsehole.
You're right. How are you, mate?
Good to
how
see
are
you.
you?
There we go.
So this is the chair that's going to be filled.
Joe Marler. Joe Marler's your
Andy, I
replacement.
spoke to you last week, mate.
Joe, are you?
Yeah.
You said he was gone.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought.
Well, that's what we hoped,
I was
Joe,
told.
to be honest.
He
So
was
there's
gone.
still a chance.
There's still a well, I don't know.
Depends how you do. They're vetting you today. I think this is what happened. It's like the changing of guard.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Mate,
Hello, lads. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you on board.
Great to see you, Jim, face to face.
No, I know. It's good
Second
to see you.
time
Mate,
ever?
I thought you'd be bigger. I'll be honest. Have you,
TV,
have you
doesn't
lost
it,
a bit or what?
I've looked at him. He's a killer, Jim. He
Mate,
comes
he's
in here, tight white top on, hell of a shape.
That's what I've done.
He would rip the living daylights out of you.
Similar sort of mate.
He'd
Look,
take you limb from limb.
look, there's
He would eat
no
your life,
insurance here. I want to get to the bottom of this because basically, effectively, I'm like, I own this podcast and someone's invited one of my enemies
Does
in
he
here.
actually?
No.
They've
Well,
just
I
tried
should
getting
do.
rid of you,
I should
Jim.
do. No, it's the other way around.
Oh, right.
It's the other way. It's like rugby. It's like you basically going to Saracens from Quins. That's basically what I want to be like.
They'd never have me, mate. What the fuck they need me for?
There you go.
Let's
True.
downgrade because Mako's asking for $1 million a year.
Is that what it was?
We'll see how we get on. You know what I mean? We don't get. Do we get on?
We'll see. We don't know. We don't really know each other that well. It's one of them. It's like
You called
kind of
me out across the waves, didn't you?
where
The radio waves.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Jim, just explain what the beef is.
I can't even remember. So much.
Hear the
has
panic
here
in
we go, he's
his...
forgotten.
so
Can
much
you
has
hear the
happened.
panic in his... I can't remember. I didn't say anything.
All I know is that
Pathetic.
Joe had a thing against me when we played. Did you or not? You used to get very angry around me, but you couldn't do anything about it because you know that, like, when I was in my prime, I basically could have killed you.
I don't know where this beef has come from, because genuinely, I don't remember playing against you.
Never heard of you.
And
Never heard of you.
That's not a wind up. Of course, I've heard of you.
Joe, this
This big English bloke playing for Scotland because
Scotland legend.
he didn't want the fucking red rose on his chest.
No, he couldn't, no, he wanted it. He couldn't get it.
Oh,
He used to have the tattoo,
okay.
but then he wasn't good enough, so he had to go and play for Scotland.
I
That's
would have
the
got
truth.
10. I would have got 10 caps for England, but I don't claim to be a great rugby player.
Yes,
but I was hard as fuck.
there's a lot of people that got 10 caps or more for England.
How many caps do you reckon you got for Scott? You're pointing at yourself when you say that for England. How many caps did you get for England? Or did you get? How many?
He's still got them coming.
How many caps did you get?
I officially got, I'd say,
You have got.
yeah.
You haven't retired yet.
No, I mean, I earn 3.
You earned
Okay,
3
you weren't
caps.
3.
Yeah, I've nicked the rest.
Okay,
Top 4. Is Quinn's up there? Of course they are.
We're top 4, mate. We're top 4 this year.
yeah.
Yeah, put some money on that.
Are you sure?
A bit.
What bet should we put on?
It'd be about 42 to 1 or something.
Hang on. So, hang on. We got. We
I
got better.
I
We got better.
think we're third favourite to get relegated.
So
So I don't know what our odds would be to get top 4.
Should we put a bet on you getting top 4? If you make top 4,
What will you do, Jim? You still got to shave your head from
it's got to be the opposite, hasn't it?
Of what?
I was going to say it then.
Go on, say it.
I was going to say I'd get a tattoo of his head on my arse. Quinn's finished top 4.
But I chose to pull out because I had a dead leg. Whereas in
The
your
key-
case,
the
you
key-
were never selected
Yeah,
to
that's
play.
I would have played with a dead leg if selected.
In
Right,
the
there you
18
go
in the
then.
18 on a Monday night, Jim.
I would have played with a dead leg.
In the 18
it's a
on a
bloody
Monday
dead
night.
leg.
Mate,
Do you know what I mean?
like with your legs, you know, look at them. Stay at them. Little chicken legs.
All right, mate. All right. But, mate, they're lost without you. It's like the podcast. Did we get to number 1 last week or not?
We've got to say a big thanks to Joe, actually.
Well, no, we don't.
We got to number 1 with Joe's first inclusion on the podcast this year.
It wasn't necessarily. I mean, it was coincidence, really, that we got to number 1. There was a lot of factors. There was a lot of people wanting the podcast to come back, which was from our work last year.
You are an ungrateful wanker. Do you know that? Why can't we just get on?
We're sitting on the same sofa now, so we're getting close. We've got pillows in the way, like you see on here.
It is a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, but my pillow's in the way because it hides my gut.
Say friends, foes,
No, I'd say
enemies.
we're
Well, it can't be
we're-
either, mate. I
work
barely know the
associates.
bloke.
Work associates.
We're warming.
No, that's his assessment of it.
What's your assessment?
Well, I haven't made an assessment yet.
Okay, we'll see. But all I know is get to number 1 on the podcast. Joe's like, well, I've got a market here.
But first, just a quick reminder to check out our new Superfan subscription service on Patreon. And we have actually...
Yeah, let's talk about that, shall we?
Yeah. This is
You're a bit
awkward.
nervous, are you? You got a bit quiet.
A
You're
little bit nervous. Palms are sweaty.
So what was the bet
Knees
you
aren't-
made? And we
wait,
talked about
arms
this
are
last
heavy.
week.
Mum spaghetti.
Already? Mum's
Let's
forgetting.
let's not
Sweater
dive.
already.
Let's not deflect here. Let's
You
get
don't,
back
just
to.
because you can't rap, that's why good, can you?
Well, no, you've only started rapping since Corbs came on and dominated, and then you felt inferior, and that's the way
True.
you are.
Yeah.
When you feel an inferior man, you come out fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, going back to you, Andy Rowe. We're talking about the Patreon subscription service. That bet that you made. Remember? We talked about it last week. You can't have forgotten.
Joe Marler would give me a haircut.
No. You said you would get a Joe Marler-esque haircut.
Yeah.
A mohawk if we got to 500 subscribers.
I'll
And
do
last,
it.
and last week you were like, yeah, by the weekend. And by the weekend we made it.
Happened on Sunday, but I'm not
Which
going
is
to
the weekend.
split hairs. I'm not going to split
Well,
hairs.
you
Let's do
got-
by Friday, but
yeah,
So you're getting
no,
a mohawk.
Yeah, no, but listen,
will.
but we spoke before the podcast started, and we were like, "This is going to be great. We've got the live show tomorrow. It's a great opportunity to do it there." And we've said a zero. We've said a zero like a bic, and then and you were like, "No, I can't do it till after Christmas. I
I
can't
can't
do it."
do a zero.
We'll do a one
You,
then.
you
Just
said
do a one
hold on,
then.
you
I
said
never said I'd do a zero.
you said you do a Joe Marler
Marler,
haircut.
which
I
is
said I'd
going
do a
bold,
mohawk.
so which is a zero. at the
He
side.
literally shaves it as tight as you can shave it. Down the
Hey,
side
this
of
is
the
going to be
head.
on my terms.
It's
Well,
not.
no. It doesn't work like that,
When you
mate,
lose
no.
a bet, it's not on your terms.
You never
No.
shaved your hair.
He did.
Yes, I did.
Oh, it's hardly growing back.
Yeah, look. I have, yeah.
Wow. Let's have another look at that.
Yeah, it is thinning, yeah.
It's not often when you get to see a 6'7" giant's top of their head.
Thank you
Just
so
see
much
Jim's-
to everyone who has
Oh,
signed
no,
up
hold on.
so
So
far.
when are we doing it? The live show tomorrow?
Not tomorrow.
When?
I can't do it before Christmas.
What do you mean you can't do it before
Why
Christmas?
can't you do it before
Because
Christmas?
you're talking about getting a zero.
No, I'm telling you to get a zero.
I'm not getting a zero, and I've got a wedding to go to
When?
at Christmas.
Mate, you look at...
Mate,
it's
we are
Christmas.
2 months away from Christmas.
I'm not getting a zero.
If you don't get it done, I'm unsubscribing.
I'm going to hold you down, sit on your gym. You do the honours.
I'm shaving your head.
It all goes.
Thank you so much to everyone who's signed up so far. This year, because you didn't want to cut my hair with the same hair that you shave your nuts with.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the fact that I've never cut hair before?
You've never cut hair before. Just get it done. Oh god, that's noisy.
In any way, are you aroused? Or have you been aroused?
It does feel nice, the vibrations. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, yeah. Especially when you get round the ears.
Funny shaped head, haven't you? I've done a fucking brilliant job there. Now, Andy, thank you for coming and choosing Marler's Mohawks to come and do your hair. As I do with all clients, fuck off.
Okay, I'll see you later. Thanks, Joe. Thanks very much, mate. This way?
Yep. You can have the towel.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
See you later.
Toner's best mate as well. How good was Devon Toner?
You'll have to get him on sometime.
I don't know where it is, but where this has all come about, the Dev Toner thing. I'm a big fan of Dev.
Hold on, you're changing your
No,
tune
no,
here, mate.
no,
you
I'm not
said
changing my
Pregnant
tune.
worm.
you called
Wasn't
him
it? Pregnant snake.
pregnant snake.
Well, worm snake,
The
same
human
thing.
sperm. You called him that as well.
Well, the tab hole, but yeah, that's fine.
And you just said that you filled him in every time we played against him, and he wasn't very good.
No, I filled him
But
in once.
I
That
was
it.
there.
Let me just say.
Did I fill him in?
Wolfhounds versus the Scottish
Scotland, yeah,
Thistles.
I was coming back from injury.
Thistles.
I was coming back from injury.
You were just up and coming there, 28.
Murdered a bloke.
Does been a murder. Anyway, that was the best performance by any Celtic second row I've ever seen.
Jim's a fucking bottle. He stood up and said, Devon, you have my seat.
Devon, help me drink my pint, please.
You see, I've taken my hat off just so I've got a full fucking head of hair.
What'd you make of the England-Australia game, Goody? Were you there?
Yeah, I was there working. I mean, you look at the final result, that second half we played really well. And it was a decent performance in the second half.
That's what I had done on my notes.
Oh, you wrote notes, Jim,
I've
did
got
you?
Yeah,
my
he's done
notes,
some
yeah.
notes,
Yeah, I've
some
got some
stats
notes.
Oh, I
analysis.
don't want to hear that. Jim
Yeah.
reading
Yeah,
out
I've
his
got- I
stats
have.
is pathetic.
It's not
But
stats.
you look at it, and now...
Is that a scrapbook?
It's a scrapbook, yeah. It's got a scrapbook.
Full of pictures.
Can I just read my notes and
No,
then you can
Jim,
say, I've got
no,
my points and we can talk about them.
Listen, Jim, no, everyone like you for being the big, dumb, stupid guy you are,
Why are you being horrible?
just abusing people.
Why are you being
and
horrible?
coming out with
You're the big
one-liners.
one. You're the big one.
And when you go, I've written some notes on certain players, no one
They're
wants
not
to...
notes, they're points.
Okay, read us out your first point.
Okay.
First point.
England scrum. Tick.
Oh, my, bore off, Jim. Bore off, Jim.
Farrell shoulder charge? Question mark.
that's why. Listen, go back to being the old Jim.
Okay.
Oh, keep going.
Checker, fuming. Sinclair, man of the match, question mark. You just hit me with a beat. So I'm back with a brand new rap. It's Christmas and Joe Smith is spooning his cat with a peelback. You know what's next? That's right, Goody's fat. Ha 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 ha. Another year passed on this old school podcast. It's all gone so fast. See what I've done there? It rhymes. Look, he's loving it there. Look, he's absolutely loving it, these boys here. I don't really hate Marler, it's maybe just fear. But not on my part, his breath smells like a fart. That's all I can say. As Andy Rowe, he looks away. Talking of Andy Rowe, the old foe, he ate a can of cat food not so long ago. But he is here with me and the other who looks like a she. He's here every week, drinking syrup in his tea. I do worry about him and when he will get slim. But he hasn't come here on a whim as he drinks Coke out of a tin. I'll wait for the beat. We now call him Katie Hopkins off the TV as Goody's wife screams at him, Pee-wee. Well, that's it for now. I bet you're all wondering how I rap so well and I'm hung like a cow. Wow. Lastly, I just wanted to say, it's nearly my favourite day. But I just wanted to leave you with one last word, if I may, Goody. Please get us to Christmas #1. Goody has promised me if we do, I can spoon his mum.
Oh, no, Jim, no, Jim.
Pod.
Rugby Pod.